Pillars of Eternity. It's been a long time since I played this. A very long time. That way? Okay. I like to fully explore the maps. I've always enjoyed these kind of PC games. Dead bodies. Oh, hang on.
Why, I could bed down here.
The young dwarf tending the stew looks up startled as he sees you approach. He drops the ladle, spattering stew across the ground. Get her, you dogs, and make sure our new cook don't run off. Help, please, help me. One of the bandits gives Tanner with a kick as they pass him and he huddles.
Let's go! Damn, miss. Ugh.
The tent is empty but for a pair of stained cots with the stink of unwashed bodies.
How do you do?
By the flame, thank you. Thank you, thank you. I thought I'd be stuck cooking for these ignorant weasels for the rest of my life. Until they were bored with me, I suppose. Must get back home. I only hope they haven't hired a replacement. Dwarf looks aghast. Listen, next time you're in the Gilded Vale, stop by the Black Hound Inn. I'll let Pasca know just what you've done for me, and I'm sure she'll do right by you in turn. Oh, to be back in my oven again. How do I get up there? Save.
Let's go!
These aged walls appear to have once encircled this entire glade. Only a small fragment remains, and the stairs leading to the top of the structure have crumbled away. Examine the wall more closely. The heavy bricks are slick with moss, presenting a hindrance to climbing, but the stones themselves seem sturdy enough. Given the right tools, one might easily reach the top. You find a handhold upon one of the large stones. You start to pull yourself up, but the uneven bricks and odd angle of ascent make the climb difficult. After a short distance, your arms begin to burn too fiercely. You are forced to drop back to the ground. Let's try again. Nope. Alright, can't do it yet. I'll have to come back. Gotta remember that. Counting on you guys to remind me.
Good day, stranger.
The man appears to be hurriedly dismantling his camp in quick, jerky movements. He looks up as you approach, his expression tense and drawn. "Greetings," he says, a little breathless. "On your way south, is it?" He wipes his brow, turning to face you. "The sooner you're clear of these woods, the better, I think." "Our caravan was attacked. I've been trying to get to Gilded Vale." "Hard luck. I'm sorry to hear it. You should be fine from here. There's no missing the vale if you keep to the road, and you haven't far to walk. But you want to keep clear of this place after that. We were just attacked north of here, me and a friend of mine. We came out here to hunt some deer. Came up on a bear and said great monstrous thing, and Pearly, well, he didn't make it. I don't know what I'll tell his wife. In any case, this forest started to cost me a friend. I'm heading home before it takes anything else." "Where did you find this bear?" "In a cave a ways up that way." He turns and points to the northwest. "I wouldn't seek it out if I were you. It was a great brute of a beast. Would hate to hear that it took another life." "What happened to your friend?" "We didn't see it coming. We were following a stag. Pearly, he saw something in the brambles and we went tearing off after it. We all but stumbled into the cave. Poor Pearly didn't stand a chance, and the bear was on top of him before he knew what was happening. The beasts will take what they will, I suppose, and this time Galloway's favor fell upon the bear." "And who are you?" "Name's Naughton. Born and raised in Gilded Vale. Haven't had a spot of luck since. Luckier than Pearly, I suppose, though." "Very well." My only problem with... Shattered pieces of crate are strewn around dirt along with a few muddy vegetables.
Lava be on seek. Rest would be good.
That's the cave. Let's finish exploring the map. Okay, I think that's everything. Alright, we're gonna rest outside the cave. Oh.
No problem.
Did not work.
Let's go.
Oh, I did it.
Got it.
There. Well, I didn't think I was gonna be able to beat him. Not gonna lie. Mice crawl through the eyes and sockets and over femurs. A figure drifts suspended in the musty air of the cavern. Its form and features blur and twist in cascading ripples of incandescence. You feel its energy eddying about your limbs, filling them with a heavy chill. Reach out a hand for the spirit. In the moment of contact, you feel as if you have been struck a blow, head reeling as you tumble helplessly into a waiting darkness. Light blooms at the edges of your vision. You feel the sun at your back and the weight of a bow in your hand. You know suddenly that you've come a long way from the vale, hunting deer. Now you are standing before a cavern, and the darkness extends far into its depths. Even so, your friend strides out before you, his red cloak flapping at his heels. You follow, heart hammering in your chest as he leads you deeper into the cavern. There's a roar like thunder. Excuse me. Echoing around you. Fear seizes you, casts you stumbling back towards the exit, towards light and escape. You see a glint of steel, and there is a sudden terrible flash of agony behind your knee. You scream, stumble, fall. Your thoughts are chaos, lance through with pain, but in a moment of terrible clarity you see your friend look back from the mouth of the cavern, his dagger daubed in crimson to match his cloak. Then there's a great dark shape above you, and then there's more pain. The vision recedes and you're thrown back in yourself with seemingly resentful force. The corpse lies at your feet and the specter lingers. In the span of energy between you both, you feel a sense of questioning, confusion, anger. I met him on the road, your friend. A sudden lashing anger emanates from the spirit. Rage and grief seem to pour from the gleaming figure like smoke. I'll find him and see that he answers for what he's done to you. For a moment, the spirit seems to burn bright, and your head fills with sickly triumph. The spirit seems to weaken with the force of its own exultation, growing fainter and fainter until you are alone once more. Alright. Bastard. Oh, the road, huh? Who said road? You actually have to go out the right side to get to some of these places. Yep. We'll just start going house to house. We didn't want to go this way, but we will. Well, that's not good.
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here.
Do you welcome everyone this way? The only answer here is the buzzing of flies above the tree.
Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever conceived a Hollowborn child?
That's a rather personal question.
And an important one nevertheless. Lord Raderick has made it his first priority to eliminate this scourge from our village. I should warn you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst.
He steps to the side and inclines his head ever so slightly toward the deformed tree.
His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn, just southwest of here.
I've been feeling strange ever since a close call with the bioac. Is there someone in town who could help me?
Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all. But if you're set on finding a bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you escaped and leave it at that.
You said something about Hollowborn and Wadewin's legacy before? I forget you foreigners don't have this curse in your homelands. The Hollowborn have been a scourge upon the Deerwood for almost 15 years now. Lowers his voice to whisper, children born without souls. He shakes his head. Pitiful, dumb things that breathe, barely, but not truly live. Some say the Hollowborn are a disease. Some say they are a punishment from the gods. He raises his empty hands. In truth, no one knows. But they began spreading after the Saints' War, and so the name Wadewin's legacy stuck in honor of that foul, blasphemous pretender. His voice shakes with vitriol. I see. Before I got here, I saw several people conducting a strange ceremony near some ruins. You went to mind where you mentioned that. Trespassing on Angwithian ruins is illegal, not to mention dangerous. Probably saw someone attempting a new ritual to appease the gods. People try anything these days. Barrett, have mercy. Louise certainly have. I don't think so. Just as I finished, there was a bowwhack. He polished his spectacles on his sleeve. If you'd been that close to a bioac, you wouldn't be standing here. I'd like to report a murder. As is your duty, what happened? The man called Nanton has killed his friend Pearlie out in the wilds. Cruel and cowardly indeed, if indeed it occurred at all. What evidence do you have? I had a vision of the victim's final moments. I saw the crime unfold. A vision? Do not take such accusations lightly in these parts. Next time you feel inclined to jest about such things, I would suggest that you reflect upon the risks involved. He looks pointedly at the tree. Alright. We're going to make sure you hang from that thing later.
Keep out of...
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed. 3 bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
Don't threaten me, little man. This is no threat, only a warning. Lord Raedric will tolerate no threats to his kin, or those who live upon his lands. Grief will not make him more docile. So what happened? I will know more details when the messengers arrive. The vagaries of childbirth, perhaps, but that is not your concern. What do you mean? You come to us at a time of mourning. The legacy has struck the heart of Gilded Vale. Efforts to redeem ourselves in the eyes of Bareth must be redoubled. He sets a steady gaze on you. Does this affect the Lord's offer to new settlers? I can be sure of nothing right now. I advise you to get some rest. The inn or stable for all I care. Find me afterwards. I will know more soon enough.
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
Looking for someone who can help me feel better. He gives an understanding nod as he takes a long drag from his pipe. My condolences. Alright. That's the end. Let's go to Offman's house. Dear wooden woman is standing in front of the fireplace, humming a quiet tune to herself. Perhaps to her unborn child, for she's clearly quite pregnant. She turns her head slightly as you enter.
Good day, stranger.
Oh, yeah. Well, finally, I'm starting to think... Oh, I'm sorry, I was expecting someone else. She gives you a cautious smile. Can I help you? Who were you expecting? My sister, Caliska, is traveling with one of the caravans. She sent a letter before she came. She said she was going to pay her way by working as a guard for the caravan master. She always was a tough one. Don't suppose you've seen her on the road, or the caravan, perhaps? It's Master Adima's. The caravan was attacked and we escaped, but Caliska was caught in a bivouac. Alfred covers her mouth with a hand, eyes wide with horror. For a few moments she can manage nothing but strangled voices, gasping, her eyes brimming with tears. I knew. I told her it was a dangerous path to take. Caliska was always so certain she couldn't take on any danger. Oh, my poor sister. I'm sorry, stranger. I can't believe she's gone. If only I hadn't called her here, if I hadn't written to her, she might still be alive somewhere. Alfred's face crumples and a solitary tear slides down her cheek. Caliska mentioned that she thought you needed help. Perhaps I can provide assistance? Alfred looks at you with some surprise before dabbing at her nose with the sleeve. That's kind of you to offer, but I don't know if I could impose this upon you. It's not a small favor. I'm worried about the baby, about the legacy. I told Caliska as much as I could. But all I know is that for a long time now, every child born in Gilded Vale has been soulless, empty. It's happened to so many others, and Lord Raedric, he's exiled all of them, calling it a sign of the gods' disfavor. And with my Hathor gone, I don't know how I'd manage if I lost him too, my home too. Wow. I hope Caliska would help me. They say Ranga, the old midwife, knows a way to prevent a child from being hollowborn, but she moved south to Anslog's campus 2 seasons ago. The journey's too far for me. I can't make it as I am. But I don't have anyone else now. With Kleska gone, more tears run down her face. Please, can you help you? I'll find Ranga for you. You will? Oh, God bless you. Here, I'll give you a coin to pay her with. You don't need to trouble yourself with that. But I think it's a drink she fashions out of, well, I'm not sure, but it shouldn't be too much of a burden to carry back. Ansel Compass is what we call the lagoon to the south. You'll have to cross the wilds to get there. That's what keeps me from trying it myself. Thank you again, truly. You'll be saving us both. She sets a hand on her stomach, smiling through her tears. Stealing. Yeah, we're not going to do any thievery. No thievery for me. That's one thing done. Now, go to the inn. Now finish my grave. Okay. You see four people gathered by the door to the inn. Their raised voices and chopping gestures suggest an argument reaching its climax. The first figure raises his hands for calm, his face partially obscured by a hood, but his height and stature suggests an elf.
I meant no offense. Let's put this matter to rest over a round, shall we? My treat.
Hoping to soothe our pride with a few Adira coppers, eh? We don't need your coin.
What's going on? One of the other men points at the hooded elf. His eyes are red from drink, but his gaze is focused. Mocking us even while he shelters in our village just goes to show you these fancy Adir manners are worth. We don't take to that kind of treatment, not from foreigners, especially not from Adirans. The woman looks you up and down, and that means you too. Don't push us.
Go on. Say it again. I'm itching for an excuse.
Fie, you're itching for the kindling touch of your sister, you cocksfeather!
I'll cut that barrel-licking tongue out of your head.
This is a misunderstanding. I didn't say whatever it is you think I said. We've nigh quarrel.
That's where you're wrong.
I don't think attacking him is such a good idea. If someone's baiting you as obviously as he is, it's generally wisest to walk away. They look at each other. One of the men gives the other two a warning shake of his head before turning to you. We're done for now, but this one better watch his step around here because we're not going anyway. With a final scowl at the elf, he turns to leave. As the three stumble away, the elf turns to you, tension almost gone from his smooth face.
Not quite how I hoped to get to know the neighbors. Thank you for your timely assistance with that awkward situation.
You mean for making them piss their pants? You're welcome.
Well, that is one way of putting it.
He straightens his hood and you note the remains of a fraying embroidery on his gloves. His boots are caked with the dirt of many months' travel, but the leatherwork beneath is sturdy and fine.
Well, I suppose introductions are in order after that little fiasco. Aloth Corvisor, at your service.
How'd you manage to get stuck out here? That is something of a long story.
Well, I'm a wizard by training, and an adventurer by necessity. I was born in the Seathwood, part of the mainland of the Adir Empire, and both of my parents served the nobility, which afforded me an education for which I'm grateful. However, there were no open positions in those houses, and so I decided to seek new means in a new land. And how exactly did you come to be here?
I was traveling with a caravan, but we were separated near some ruins.
In Gwithan ruins? Oh, those can be dangerous places during the best of times, which these are not. And half the locals would arrest you for trespassing, and the rest would kill you outright. I'm curious, what exactly did you find there?
Several hooded figures operating a strange machine. A Aloth gives you goggles at you silently, apparently assessing your earnestness. Finally gives you a clipped, awkward laugh.
You do manage to find yourself in rather interesting predicaments.
Just how did you... what are you doing in the Gilded Vale?
An excellent question. I came looking for fresh air and cheap land. Instead, the magistrate gave me directions to the inn and a story about the local lord's expectant wife. But I take it that's a familiar tale.
I've been experiencing strange things of late. I'm looking for an expert on souls.
Indeed. The local lord has searched far and wide for similar specialists. He has rid himself of them almost as desperately.
He nods at the old gnarled tree in the center of town. And just how did you manage to cross those three drunks?
I'm afraid that was a matter of misunderstandings and mistranslations. It doesn't help that people in these parts remember their war with Adir like it was yesterday.
Well, you did tell that one man to go fuck his sister. Ah, that. As I tried to help them, they misheard me. Happens all too easily after a few pints, and the accent doesn't help. Well, I heard the same thing. For a moment, he looks as if he's about to say something else. His expression brightens with mischief. But before he can speak, he forces a tight smile, biting his lips so hard you could expect to see blood. Finally, his face relaxes and he shakes his head. I should speak more clearly next time. My apologies. You don't exactly look like a settler.
Begging your pardon, but neither do you. Yet, circumstances can find a person in the strangest of places.
I should get going.
As should I, given recent events. It's just as well. I've had enough of the watered wine and lumpy beds at the inn. They say even the owner tired of the place. Just up and left one day. It explains quite a lot about the upkeep. Perhaps I could join you. I could use a change of scenery, and I find it's better to travel in numbers.
So do I. Let's go then.
Excellent. I shall follow you.
Sweet. Floorboards sticky with spills that no one has bothered to clean. Yep, of course.
Welcome.
Hello and welcome to the... Oh, it's you. Tenfrith told us what you did for him. It's such a relief to have him back. I can't thank you enough. Consider yourself a favorite of the house. Discounts on drinks, rooms. Tenfrith said he wanted to whip up something nice for you. He's already back at work in the kitchen. What'd you like? I'd like to know more about the Black Hound. Really? Well, let's see. The actual building's been here for years, but the Black Hound is fairly new. We get a lot of new faces here, too. Fewer than we used to, I'll admit. Tenfrith's the big draw. I'm sure we'll get the big crowds back again in no time. They used to work tables, actually, until the old owner up and left. Nobody's sure what happened to him. He even left his poor hound behind. That's the name, see? The Black Hound. Still sitting upstairs, pining after him. Poor old girl. Place ended up in my hands somehow. My very own inn. A lot of hard work involved, but it's been worth it so far. Please, say what you like. Would you like drinks? Room? We have two available at the moment. I'm afraid we can't offer by much of the way of a good meal today. Unless you're fond of cold porridge. Can I see what you have for sale? I'm sure you'll find something you're liking. We have the finest cook in Deerwood. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna do that. Alright, she leveled up. Let's see what we do. Oof. So let's do... As you near, you feel a vibrant history containing the essence of this man's soul. Voices from its past seem to call out to you. You see a group of young men standing around a makeshift practice target. This man stands in the middle of them, explaining the construction and use of a bow. He holds it up, pointing out each part as he speaks about it and what it does. He then walks away from the target, telling them to remain where they are, and takes his place about 200 feet away. He carefully lines up a shot, explaining what he is doing as he does, and lets the arrow fly. It hits the target dead center, much to the surprise and delight of the boys near it. He smiles, walking towards the boys, talking about proper stance and how to most effectively hold a bow. A noise comes from the tree line near the practice ring, and he stops, scanning the woods, blue eyes squinting against the sun. A shadow moves, making its way through the forest behind him. He draws an arrow, lines up the shot, carefully tracking the motion of the hidden creature. Loosening the arrow, he wastes no time and quickly grabs another. The boy has been watching the arrow fly into the forest, immediately lost among the trees. There's a sudden explosive movement in the undergrowth as the deer erupts from the tree line, running across the edge of the clearing. The boys laugh, turning to joke with the man about his lousy shot. They stop talking, seeing him holding the bow and leading the deer with the knocked arrow. They drop to the ground as he looses his last arrow, which flies true and strikes the deer right behind its shoulder, piercing heart and lungs and dropping it dead almost immediately. The boys stare at the deer for a few seconds and slowly turn to look at the man, newfound respect in their eyes. He smiles again and breathes a quiet sigh of relief. As you near, you blah blah blah. Vibrant history. You see a woman emptying her satchel onto her bed, taking stock of her inventory. Potions, bandages, tinctures, and herbs are scattered throughout her room haphazardly. She bites her lip, head tilted to the side, considering. She begins to repack one item after the other, careful deliberation undercut by shaking hands. Each item has a clearly marked place, but no matter how she repacks it, she isn't satisfied. The shaking worsens as she empties it out once more. One hand held to her mouth. Tears eke from her eyes as she gives up all semblance of order and shoves everything she can in the satchel, grabbing it and running out of the bare house. Straightening her back, she walks to the docks, chin high, eyes hard and red. A gangly young elf offers his condolences, but she can't see him for the ocean ahead of her. She wanders the docks and offering her services as a doctor to any who will listen. Anyone heading out on high tide. Less than an hour later, she watches her childhood disappear in the distance, a tiny speck of an island, and tries not to jump. Some kind of brown slop. That's sports for you. Ah, it's you, my savior. It's so good to be back. Do not think I will let this go unrewarded. I have decided that you have earned the right to learn one of my most closely guarded secrets, my dearest recipe. After this, you will eat nothing else. A savory pie to keep you hale and hearty. May it serve you well in your travels. That's some stuff done. Boo, 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 boo. Who do I need to talk to? Road south. Temple of Erithus. I need to go there. Black Hammer Smithery or the windmill? We're gonna come here first. Oh, Temple of Erithus. Learn a new location. Ah, Ingrid, the woman and the man. This man and woman appear to have been in deep conversation, working at closing two bulging satchels. They move to embrace until the woman notices you approach and pauses, her smile faltering a little. Oh, they were in on it together.
Good day to you.
Can we help you? She looks to her companion, her brows furrowing with confusion. Do you know this woman, Naughton? Yes, I think we met in the Valewood. I warned her about the bear. Glad to see you made it. Was there something else you wanted? You two are in good spirits for people who just lost a friend. That was unkind of you to say. I'm grieving my husband in my fashion. I'm only sorry I could not convince him to leave Gilded Vale before this happened. I know what really happened in that bear cave, Naughton. Oh no, you two seem to be in a hurry. Yes, I imagine so. We're packing for a trip, actually. Been meaning to visit Defiance Bay, and, well, in truth, I think I've had my fill of this town. I know what really happened in that bear cave, Naughton. I don't know what you mean. I told you the truth of it. Are you accusing me of something? This is about the action. We're both grieving Pearlie's loss, but it was a wild animal's doing. What would make you suggest such a thing? I had a vision of the cave. I saw Pearlie's last moments as he lived them. I saw you cut him with the knife. That's not possible. How could you possibly know? I left no sign. Naughton, wait. I don't know what you saw in that cave, but this isn't what you think. Pearlie, my husband, he was as much a beast as that bear. I tried to leave the first time I suffered his temper, but he wouldn't have it. We met, and I knew he'd found someone special, someone kind, someone who cared for me. Please, all we want is to leave this place, to start somewhere else. We have some coin saved up. You could have it, if you'll only let us go. Man, I hate that. Keep the money. Use it to start your new life. Ingrid blinks, surprised. Then thank you, truly. I'm glad you understand. Only here, take this at least. I hope it brings you luck. We have a long journey ahead of us. I wish you well on your travel, stranger. We won't forget this. And he leveled up. Ooh. Alright, so they've gone. Edit. This bottle of Senator is half empty. Alright, so let's go up. I think that's all of my quests in this area. Let's go this way. This Amua man is of an impressive build, towering above the countertop. His skin is the dusty blue of the deeper ocean. His thick arms boast corded muscle, small ears framing a square-jawed face coated in smeared soot and arcing black tattoos alike. He offers you a broad smile as you approach. Welcome, you're the first new face I've seen in quite some time. What can I do for you? What do you have here? You come to us at a strange time, I'm afraid. The snack's what it used to be, but we've fine weapons and offer to offer yet. All forged right here at the Black Hammer. So what happened? We just don't have the supplies. Been expecting the next delivery for near around a week now and haven't seen any sign of it. Had to expect they were hit by bandits. The road out east is crawling with them. Or my workers ran off with the wagon themselves, maybe to make some coin. As if that lot would dare. He's right about the bandits. The dire situation in villages like this and the exodus to the cities has created far too many opportunities for unscrupulous sorts. If you happen to be headed that way, maybe you could keep an eye out for a supply wagon. Or my shipment, at least. They'd be cutting through the Black Meadow, I expect. Only good road for it. As it is, most of our weapons go to His Grace, Lord Raedric. And that's as it should be, but it doesn't leave much for outsiders. We just don't have the iron. I'll see them back safe and sound. I appreciate you trying, anyhow. You bring back the supplies, at least. I'll have much more to offer you. A discount to start, and if you do find my workers, you give them a good smack upside the head for me.
Welcome.
Put that. Don't need anything right now. All right. Are all these guys going to have something? Yep. I don't know how many of these I'm going to do. You see a man crouching, surreptitious and alone, a series of untamed shrubs, all that hides him from the vision ahead. His eyes are locked on a Deligman, beautiful and terrible eyes half-lidded as she hums. A bird with fantastic blue and orange plumage sits on her shoulder, trilling gently, and the man is entranced. Trembling, tentative, he stands, and the tranquility is broken by the bird's startled squawk. Deligman half smiles, beckoning with twig-like fingers. She does not speak as he approaches. His mouth is dripping sounds of awe and admiration. She waits, coy, tempting, with the agonizing slowness he is before her. Then something changes. She sees something hanging limply from his sides and begins to hiss. Fingers suddenly claw, eyes black with hate. He has no time to reach for his axe or grimoire as she strikes, and just as soon as she strikes, she is gone. The only evidence of her existence, the shuddering wreck on the ground. He grabs at his grimoire nonetheless and begins to chant, but the words of a magical language of his own imagining scribbled in a maniacal shorthand, ring hollow, and the silence continues unabated. He turns and shrugs at someone or something, but if there is something there, you do not see it. You see a group of adventurers surrounded by a crowd of attacking Zorps. This man is with them, seemingly unconcerned by the battle, even detached from it as he stands in the middle of his comrades chanting. His expression bordering on elation, his voice is powerful, deep, booming out across combatants as a rich counterpoint to the chaos of their fighting. With every phrase, the battlefield changes. His allies glow with a pulsing blue light, freezing the Zorps that surround him. A blazing fire erupts from the ground, cutting and burning the creatures and sending them scattering. One of the fallen Zorps suddenly explodes as the three giant grubs crawl from its corpse and attack the remaining enemies. The man continues to chant, thoroughly enthralled in the joy of the moment. Finally, the creatures have been reduced to one. His allies stand back as the man approaches it, still chanting. He removes his hammer and swings it at the Zorp. His phrase ends as the hammer connects with his head, punctuating the spell and bringing his song to an end. Sounds like a bard. Alright. Next place I want to check out is the mill. This way. Oops. Uh-oh. We know there's more grain in there, Trumbull. We won't settle for scraps while you grow fat on our crops. The first of you drunkards come through that door gets a shot between the eyes. God's hear me, Swainier. I'll put you down like a dog. Come away for now, lads, but we'll be back. We'll be back, Trumbull, and we'll have fair prices, or by the flame we'll have a reckoning. An elven man stands before you, his relatively stocky build suggesting a life of labor. His face is pale and drawn, his eyes wide. Behind him, a younger man and woman exchange worried glances. The miller raises the club as you enter, shakes violently his grip. Get back if you value your life. Hold on, I'm not here to hurt anyone. The miller hesitates and lowers his club. Wait, I know you. You just came into town, right? Don't tell me Swainer's already got his claws in you. Gods, that's all I need. My name is Aldira Bolisnir. I've only just arrived into the Gilded Vale. You picked a bad time to come visiting. Gilded Vale's had all its shine scraped off. It's just a big dung heap now, and Swainer thinks he's king of it. They're all of them mad. So what was all that ruckus outside? Where to begin? Swainer's whipped them up into a froth going on about grain stores, claims I've hidden away most of it. All I do with the grain is sell it. I can't create it out of thin air. I can't hand it out for free. I pay the farmers for the crops they bring in, and I sell what comes out of the mill. Most of it goes to the Black Hound on the west side of town for ale, and Swainer and his lot sure don't mind that part. You take a look at the fields on the way into town. Crops blighted, and most of what I'm getting from the farmers, it's gone off, rotted through. I can't pay top prices for blighted wheat, and I barely got enough good grain to go around. Strainer's howling after things he has no right to. Seems like a pretty clean story for a messy situation. It's not. Look, Strainer's always been a rotten bastard, with stores so limited. Maybe I save the good stuff for people who deserve it. Offer, for instance, she's expecting a child. Should I let her starve? Do the villagers know about the grain supply? Some, the innkeeper, for instance. It's better not to worry anyone. I'll be trading for supplies soon enough. We can just keep things calm until then. We'll be in the clear. The innkeeper? I wouldn't drink the ale is all I'm saying. Maybe I ought to go have a talk with Swainer then. I'd be grateful if you did. He won't listen to me anymore. Maybe you'll have better luck. Tell him we're all having a hard time of it and we'll have to make some sacrifices. We'll be in your debt if you can convince him. So where the heck is Swainer now? Does that house do anything? That house seems awfully oh, there's no way in here. That's annoying. Okay. I'm gonna guess they're somewhere. We'll figure it out. You see a pennant waving tall and sluggish in the wind, a rising sun embroidered on the banner. The vanguard of a small troop of paladins, the atmosphere is buoyant, if restrained, and their armor has not yet been tarnished by the elements. This expedition is fresh, young, filled with zest and zeal. At their head stands the commander, awkward in full armor but determined in step. Despite the excitement of his fellows, he does not smile. There's a twist to his mouth, his countenance grim. He throws up a hand, halting his troops. Silence falls among them, revealing a dark thunder deep and low. He orders them to ready their weapons and spread out. Eyes dark from horizon to horizon, neck twisting to see the source of the sound. In the distance, dust and lightning rise from the ground as the Stygian clouds race towards them overhead. The soldiers stand, only the staccato movement of their breath betraying their nerves. The commander closes his eyes, calls a blessing down on his troop. Invigorated and invincible, they wait as the enemy draws closer, poised to attack. I think we can actually go in here. So this is where we're going to stop for today. I want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoy this. If you have, you know what to do. Leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. It means a lot, helps the channel grow, and I do appreciate it. Till next time, love you guys. Hope to see you again soon. Take care, and I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.